Hello everyone, I am Dr. Anish Reddy, Professor at Jain College of Engineering, Belgavi. Today I will be taking session 2 of Module 5 Manufacturing Control and Automation of Additive Manufacturing subject. In last session, that is the session 1, I have covered what is manufacturing. Then we have saw different types of manufacturing. For example, we saw mass production, continuous production, job production, etc. Then we moved to saw different conventional machines, and then how a NC machine came into picture. We saw the history of NC machine. Then we moved to the what is CNC machine, what are the advantages, disadvantages of CNC machine, and its application. So in today's session we will covering 3 points, that is classification of CNC machine. Then we will move to how the coordinates are defined in CNC machines, and then we will move to different axes of CNC machine. In today's lecture I will be covering these 3 points. So let's start with the first point, that is the classification of CNC machine. So CNC machine is classified on 4 types. First is based on the control loops, second is based on motion type, third one based on number of axes, and the last one based on the power supply. So the first one, that is based on the control loops, there are 2 types of CNC machine. One is open loop and second one is closed loop. So to understand open loop, let's see this first figure. So you can see this first figure consists of an input, a stepper motor to which a gear is attached, and there is a lead screw on which the table is mounted. So in this the program instructions are given through the controller to the stepper motor. So it will receive this the inputs from the input controller, and then it will decide how much power should be given to the gear. So it will give a small steps to the gear. So what will happen when the gear motor rotates, it will lead to the work table to move in one direction. So in this direction work table will move. But the problem with this method is there is no feedback check whether the program position or velocity has been achieved. So we will not come to know whether the work table has achieved to the final destination or not. Now this type of point-to-point system will have accuracy is not critical. So it can be employed only where the accuracy is not so important. And very few CNC machines you can find the open. The second one is a closed loop system. So what is the closed loop system is, the major difference between the closed loop and open loop system is there is a feedback signal here. Okay. So what happens in the same process, the input goes to the control via controller, goes to the DC servo motor, then it will give the proper signal and command for gear movement. So what will happen after that, the work table will move in slide in this directions, and this, using the proximity sensors or position sensors mounted on the work table, we will come to know whether the table has reached that respective positions or not. Once it reaches to the respective position, the feedback signal goes to the controller and the next operation can be done. For example, I want to move a table to some 10 millimeter and then do the drilling operation. So once the DC motor moves that table to 10 millimeter right side, it will send a signal to the controller, then the drilling operation will start. So drilling operation will start only once the feedback signal of working table has reached to the respective position is got it. The closed loop system very powerful and accurate because they are capable of monitoring operation condition through the feedback system and automatically compensation for any variation in real time. So all in today's CNC machines are a closed loop system. A second classification is based on the motion type. So there are 2 types of classic control system, that is point to point control system, and continuous path and or control system. So let's see the first part, point to point system. So whatever the gray size is the workpiece where we have to do 3 drilling operations. So drilling operation 1, 2, 3. So in this what happens is, let's say your drilling tool is here, so it has to move to the next point. So in between it is when the tool is moving from here to starting point to the one point, it is not doing any operation. So here it can move very fast. So only whether it has reached at position 1 or not, that is more important. Then when it's moving to position 2, simply go here. In between it is not doing any operation. So point to point control is one where the accurate position control is required only a place the machine slides in a fixed position. This is mainly used for drilling, boring and tapping operations, and feed rate need not be programmed. So this all will have a rapid motion. Now where we are using continuous path, so in continuous path motion is used where tool and work are along with different coordinate axes. So you can see a simple milling operation. So starting tool will go here, and when it reached here, from here itself it started removing the material along this profile. So this is continuously the tool is monitored. So this method is useful when the system has to generate a profile with a curved curves or continuous curves. The next type of classification is based on the number of axes. On the number of axes, the CNC machines are classified as 2 or 3 axis CNC machines or 4 or 5 axis. So let's see the first one, 2 axis and 3 axis. So CNC machine lathe will be coming under 2 axis machines, while the vertical milling machine is coming under 3 axis. So you can see in CNC lathe machine you are having only 2 axis, 1 axis and 2 axis. Along this only the sliding motion happens, but in case of a milling, 1 axis, 2 axis, these are given to the table, but the third axis is given to the spindle motion. Now if to the existing milling machine, if I give a rotation to the working table, there will be a 4th axis added. So this B denotes the 4th axis. So this is 4th axis, 4 axis CNC machine. But with not only to the working table, if I give the motion also the rotating motion to the tool. So this is where the tool is mounted. So this is the rotational motion B. So it is having 3 sliding motions, those Z, Y, X, and 2 rotational motion A and B. So the total are 5 axis. So that's why this is 5 axis milling machine. Now also there is one more classification based on the power supply. So we know the CNC machine, the major components of the CNC machines are the power supply, that is the motors. So if the motor is electrical or hydraulic and pneumatic, depends upon them, we can say the CNC is an electrical, hydraulic, pneumatic CNC machine. Now let's go to the next point, that is methods of defining coordinate system in CNC machine. So this is very important when you are doing a CNC program. So there are 2 methods. One is the absolute coordinate system. So in absolute coordinate system, each point is always specified using the same 0 establishment for a given coordinate system. So let's see this one with a simple example. So you can see x-axis and y-axis. So I have drawn few points. So this is point P1, which is at center, that is 0, 0. Then there is a point P2, point P3, P4, so on. So how, when I'm using absolute coordinate system, how I define the points? Suppose I have to do drilling operation this at P1, P2, P3. So how I decide the coordinate system for that? So this is the process. So P1 it is at the center, that is 0 0. Then when tool has to move to the point P2, I have to define its coordinate. So 0 0 will always remain here only. Okay, it will not change. So what will happen if I see from here, the in x-axis no changes, in y-axis 4. Okay, so that's why you can see P2 is 0 comma 4. In x-axis is 0, y-axis is 4. Now let's go to third point. So if you see point 3, it is 2 units in x-axis and 4 units in y-axis. So 2 comma 4. If I go to fourth point, so you can see 5 units in y-axis and 2 units in x-axis. Similarly, we can go for P5 4 comma 6 and P6 4 comma 7. So in all these points, the measurement is done from this center, that is 0 comma 0. So the center is not changing. Okay, 0 0 is not changing, or you can say origin is not changing. Origin is remaining constant in case of a absolute coordinate system. Now let's go to the next one, that is the incremental coordinate system. So in incremental measurement, each point is specified using the path differential from the preceding point. So in such programming, controller must store and process the additional path measurement. So same, we'll take the same problem, same x-axis, y-axis, P1 is initially lying 0 0, and then P2 and all other points. So in this point, what we are doing is, let's see, P1, so we are starting the first point, so we have marked it as 0 0. So at before P1 there is no point, so that's why it is marked as 0 0. Now if you go to the P2, what is happening? For P2, P1 will become 0 0. So from here P2 will be measured. So P2, we are moving 0 in x direction no movement, and y direction 4 movement, so 0 comma 4. Now let's go to P3. So when you go to P3, you can understand more easily what is incremental coordinate system. So if for P3, P1 is not origin. For P3, the origin is P2. Okay, so coordinates for P2 becomes 0 0 now. So from here I have to measure the P3. So as 0 0 is lying here, I have to move only 2 units in x and 0 units in y. For P3, P2 is 0 comma 0. Okay, or P2 I can say origin. So for this one I have to move only 2 units in x direction. So that's why 2 comma 0. Now let's go to the P4. For P4, again P3 becomes 0 comma 0, or origin. From P3, when I am moving P4, I have to move only 1 unit y direction and 0 unit in x direction. So that's why 0 comma 1. So let's go to now P5. Now P5, you can see for P5, P4 is origin 0 comma 0. So from here, if I have from P4, if I have to go to P5, I have to move 2 units in x direction and 1 unit in y direction. So that's why in P5 you can see 2 comma 1. Similarly, we can calculate for P6 and P7. So that is good. You can see in P7 it is -1. So as in 7, this is for P6 is 0 comma 0. So you can see I have to move 2 units in x direction to come to P7, but I have to move -1 in y direction. So that's why 2 comma -1. Next is the axis representation in CNC. So if I am using any CNC lathe or CNC turner, this is the axis representation. Okay, so the two this is the jaw on which the workpiece will be mounted, and here the tool will be mounted. So any motion in along the turning, it will be Z plus or minus. Okay, so plus is towards right side, minus is towards left side, and any depth of cut is given in minus, Z minus. Okay, when I'm moving the tool this side, it is Z plus. This is for CNC vertical machines. So you can see for vertical machines we got 3 axes. So this is y. So y and x are on working table. So working table can move plus x or minus x. Similarly, it can move plus x, that is towards the operator, minus x away from the operator. Similarly, the tool or the spindle mounted, it is moving, if it's minus z, it is moving more towards the workpiece and plus away from the workpiece. Now in this case we have additionally, we will have rotation on all the axes. So x-axis is having clockwise negative, anti-clockwise positive. Similarly in case of a y-axis and z-axis. So this is for 6-axis vertical milling machine. If you don't have any rotation thing, so it will become 3-axis vertical CNC machine. Now in vertical CNC machine, you can see the tool is vertical in position, but in case of a horizontal milling machine, the spindle or the tool is mounted horizontally. So in the same case, we can see here the tool axis is z-axis, that is plus to and minus. Similarly, the workpiece plus and minus, and the y-axis is plus and minus. So this is for 3-axis horizontal milling machines. So this is the end of the today's class. If you have any questions, you can contact me on my mail ID anilshirati@gmail.com or on my mobile number. Thank you everyone, and I request you to subscribe the channel by pressing the bell icon. Thank you.